A buddy of mine had moved to a small town when he was in second grade. His dad had gotten a new job there, I think as mayor or something, and in this town they had a factory that made nails, like for building houses and such. And during the first week or two of school, he was starting to meet kids and he began chatting with a boy that lived in this town his entire life. And as they worked to learn about each other, my buddy asked this kid what his dad did for a living. The kid's response was fairly entertaining. Well, you know how there are silver nails and there are gold nails? Yeah. My dad paints the silver nails gold. Welcome to episode 15 of I Have No Idea What I'm Doing. If this is your first time, I'm glad you're here and we'd be super stoked if you went back and watched a few of the others and if you subscribed. If you've been here from the beginning, a huge thank you for sticking around, Mom. Let's go back to the nail painter for just a second. First off, we have to recognize that we're not in his shoes. But from the outside, do you think that guy found purpose in his work? Do you think it was his life's mission to paint nails gold? It's easy to sit here and judge him because most of us aren't tasked with such a mundane routine day in and day out. But if we point the camera at ourselves for just a minute, are we finding purpose in what we do? Let me ask that another way. Is your everyday driven by your life's purpose? Don't be ashamed if it's not. Here's the deal. I'm in a bit of a rut work-wise. It's not uncommon either. It usually happens to me a couple times a year. Maybe it's why we invented vacations and holidays. In these phases, I tend to be a little more reflective on what I'm doing with my life, asking myself questions like, am I doing what I was meant to be doing? What is my purpose? I'm bored. Does that mean I've missed my calling? I'm not alone in this. I don't know the exact numbers on this, but I'm pretty sure we spend approximately $17 gazillion each year on self-help books and motivational books, seminars, teachers, magazines, and more. Heck, most of the videos I've created here are intended to motivate you in some form or fashion, this one being no different. You remember those motivational posters that used to be really popular? The ones with pictures of eagles soaring or desert landscapes with a single trail of footprints in it that would have quips below the picture like, ambition, keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Or, potential, we have all the tools for greatness within us. Stop it, those are the worst. We can't all have the tools for greatness. Some of us have to be average, right? I actually prefer the posters the internet brought us that are anti-motivational, like, dream small, it's your only hope for success, really. And procrastination. Hard work often pays off after time, but laziness pays off now. Or what about those picture quotes we see on Pinterest or that get used in graduation speeches? The ones like, do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your whole life. Or follow your bliss and the universe will open doors for you where there are only walls. There's also an oft-quoted one by Steve Jobs himself. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. And if you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. You know what's funny to me? What Jobs' overriding lifelong passion and love was? Zen Buddhism. If he had followed his number one passion, you might not actually be watching this video right now because the camera I'm shooting on and the screen you're likely watching it on might not even exist. Look, there's nothing wrong with motivational quotes. I encourage you to collect them and use them to charge you up and cause you to think positively about your life and the tasks ahead. Hang them on your computer or your bathroom mirror. Just be careful they don't set unreasonable expectation for you. Remember that it's okay to not have it all figured out today. Even after nearly a decade and a half of running a business, I still find myself in a funk at times and wondering if it's where I'm supposed to be. So let's go back to my current slump, because this is all about me, right? I'm in that mode of wondering what my purpose is and why that I've got 4 decades under my belt and still haven't fully figured it out. Thankfully, and likely not by coincidence, I grabbed a new book this past week, not directly related to this topic, but it did hit on some of what I've been struggling with in one of the chapters. In the book Start by Jon Acuff, he points out that maybe we should worry less about finding our purpose in life and worry more about living with purpose instead. John points out what motivational quotes don't do is expose the truth to the lies that we often tell ourselves. Lies like, everybody already knows what their purpose is, and the fact is they don't. Or the lie that you only have one purpose in life. You probably don't have that either. Or even that when you find your purpose, it changes everything for you in an instant. It doesn't. You see, you're not alone if you don't have purpose in your life fully figured out. I don't, and neither does a best-selling author who teaches on things like this. Acuff points out that maybe instead of worrying about having a purpose be our guiding light and reason we wake up every morning, we should be better off worrying about living with a purpose. Maybe you do paint nails gold for a living, and maybe it's not your life's calling. But choosing to live with a purpose should drive you to be the best nail painter you can be. It doesn't mean you have to do it forever. Or maybe your work will never be purpose-driven for you. Maybe you need to live with more purpose in your relationships, with your spouse, your kids, or your friends. Do you purposefully engage them and make space for them? When we live with purpose, it should touch all areas of our life. Dream with purpose, vacation with purpose, dance with purpose. Do whatever it is you do with purpose, and maybe then your purpose might just show itself. A couple of weeks ago, I told you to write down 2 lists. Did you do it? In other videos, I've asked you to tell your story to somebody, to serve others, or to get the ball rolling on an idea you might have. Have you done any of those? If not, maybe you're not living with purpose yet. Let's get intentional about the things we do. When we start to make it a little less about what we don't have and a little more about what we can give, who knows what'll happen. Until next time.